Hello Internet, I'm Evitel.
My name's Taliesin.
And welcome to the weekly reset, Taliesin and Evitel's Wondrous Wisdomshow, bringing you all of the latest WoW news. And Taliesin, what are you doing?
I'm feeding Khadgar.
But I thought Khadgar was dead? Didn't he literally die of starvation last episode?
No, because I thought that too, but it turns out he just very nearly died of starvation.
Oh, so wait, he's still alive?
Yes! All I had to do was feed him up again to get his strength back and get him 3,572 Argusian shit crystals, because he kind of fancied them, and then feed him again, and he's as good as new!
Awesome! Are you still feeding him now?
Yes, I'm still feeding him, because the more I feed him, the healthier he'll get. That's just a scientific fact, and you can't argue with science, can you, Khadgar?
Knowledge is power.
Do you think maybe...
Yeah, I'm going to stop feeding him just for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, let's get on with the show.
There is much to be done.
Guess what, guys? It's one of those especially satisfying episodes of the Weekly Reset just after one of Ian and Law's Q&A sessions. Events that we love on this channel because they are always thoughtful, mature, informative, and just nice, you know? Watching an Ian and Law Q&A is like settling into an old jumper to watch a Lord of the Rings movie. You know where you are with Ian and Law. Everything is always pleasingly familiar and safe, just how we like it. So get comfy, put your feet up, and let's see what these two fellas are up to this week, shall we?
Hello everybody, and welcome to another...
Okay, first of all, sorry, but what is this? Okay, Ian and Law, I don't know if you're trying to be clever or whatever, but do you have any idea how long it took us to make the background for our Halloween Ian and Law Q&A skit? Sorry, do you have any idea how long it took Evitel to make the background for our Halloween Ian and Law skit? A good 10 minutes or so, that's how long, and we didn't go to all of that extraordinary effort just to have you change locations in your next appearance and make our video out of date, okay? Screw you guys. Didn't you get the memo? I hate change. Although I do like to imagine Law putting this temporary space together and thinking, what would be really cool is if we had pictures of all the past expansions on the wall to celebrate the game's amazing history and legacy, and oh no, wait, there's not enough room for Warlords of... Oh well, never mind, I still like how it looks. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, it's fine. And not only that, but this change in setting also seems to have brought out the sass in Ian and Law in ways hitherto unseen in Q&As.
Not sure yet whether or not we should be looking forward to finding 5,000 shards of Varian to piece back together into...
Probably not. Maybe individual Vol'jin ashes, though.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Piles of Vol'jin dust. We're terrible people.
It's not actually affecting the average player.
Sure,
and so
yeah.
It really, the question is, you know, do you want us to kill memes?
Well...
Moving on.
I certainly don't want to kill memes.
And not to mention your incredibly impressive pun game that suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Will Battle For Azeroth go back to pre-Legion weapon drops?
And so I think that's a bit of a double-edged sword, so to speak. Anyway.
It is good to see that in the midst of all of this newness, though, some things never change.
Question from Gale Deep letters. Gale Deep and some letters.
AQW.
Thank you.
Ah, the cozy jumper is back. And yet another major departure for these Q&As is that, yes, Ian and Law actually talked about legacy servers with regards to the upcoming WoW Classic, a subject they have been resolutely silent on before. And yes, true, so only brought it up to say that they wouldn't be talking about it.
We're not talking about WoW Classic today.
But it's still something of a landmark moment, because the community has been aflame in the last couple of weeks with people talking about WoW Classic and arguing about WoW Classic. And actually, it's impressive that even though Ian didn't discuss WoW Classic in any depth, he still managed, in 2 sentences, to answer the biggest, most burning question of all.
We know vanilla means vanilla.
Vanilla is vanilla. I mean, it seems obvious, doesn't it? But apparently not, because there has been so much anger in the community recently about the idea that vanilla, for some reason, wouldn't be vanilla. Changes to vanilla that classic WoW servers would introduce. And actually, it's pointless getting into those assumptions now because Ian has already clarified it.
We know vanilla means vanilla.
But let's really hammer that point home, shall we? Because like I mentioned, he does it in 2 sentences.
We know that it's about community, and that means some of the inconveniences, that means some of the rough edges. That's not something we're looking to move away from. It's more some of the questions like Jay raised. Which version of that experience? Is it the 2005 version? Is it the 2006 version? There were a lot of changes that happened during the Classic timeframe, and there's a lot of fun discussions to have as we figure out what the right experience is.
So there we go. But I want to look at where this anger has come from, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that even though this clarification is out there now, we are going to be seeing this question raise its head again in the next couple of years. Because a lot of this assumption that vanilla won't mean vanilla, and the anger that comes with it, seems to be directed at, well, people like me. So I want to take this opportunity to reach out and address those of you that would consider yourselves the purists. Those of you that really fought for Classic WoW and still play on private servers, because let's be fair, this is where most of the anger and assumptions are coming from. This idea that WoW Classic will not be a true vanilla experience because it will make changes to cater for people like me, who didn't play vanilla at the time and who don't play on private servers now. So allow me, if you will, to speak for those players as I see it. Number one, we are happy about Classic WoW. We see it as a victory for you because it is. You deserve credit and we are happy for you. We are happy about WoW Classic and we are excited about it. 2, we don't want it changed from the vanilla experience. And this is really important. Look at the prominent voices advocating changes to vanilla in WoW Classic. They are from your community, the private server community, not from ours. The people suggesting quality of life changes like updated graphics, AoE looting, class balancing, that's all you guys, so stop blaming us. Okay, some community managers said in a blue post that class balance was a discussion worth having, but being willing to discuss something is not the same as advocating something. It's the private server guys who have made hours of content saying this should be different and this should be different. So again, don't blame us. Number 3, don't think that just because I don't play on a private server that I don't care about the purity of the Classic WoW experience. I would argue that in some ways, I care more than someone that plays on a private server. I've always fancied playing vanilla, but I know I don't get the true vanilla experience on private servers. What I get is more bugs and things not working than Blizzard vanilla had. I get cash shops and increased experience rates, and servers shutting down overnight, taking all your characters with them. So again, please, don't blame us. We want vanilla to be vanilla. I know not all of you want to hear this. I know there's been a culture of us versus them built up over the last couple of years, which is largely understandable, and I know there's a temptation to keep fostering that feeling of anger and resistance. But Ian saying flat out,
We know vanilla means vanilla.
should show you that we're on your side, dudes.
That was the first minute of the Q&A. There followed another hour in which some very interesting and slightly more relevant points regarding the current game were made, the most important of which was, obviously, that the Arclight Angler will be the only artifact following us into Battle for Azeroth. And yeah, I know we decided on Battle, but since last week we had so many other great suggestions that I think I'm back on the fence again right now. Right now, I'm leaning towards Froth. Genuinely, I really like Froth. But basically, long story short, patch 7.3.5 will be coming to the PTR soon and will feature old world scaling and a preview of the new Silithus battleground, alongside the news story happening in that newly updated zone. Although presumably the visual update to Silithus will become visible upon completion of the Antorus raid, just like Azeroth in the Sky with Tomb. More confirmation that there will be no Legion scale class reworks, but some classes, and you know who you are, will be getting some substantial attention. Some pretty convincing arguments for keeping 20-man Mythic raid sizes, which I think most people can agree with, and some arguments for titanforging, which Lore made it pretty clear he did not agree with, and which Ian was not expecting.
Have you ever considered, I'm sure you have, the idea of having, like, Mythic drops drop at a level where lower tier titanforging doesn't surpass it?
I think the space of anything can happen possibility is one that has value to it.
Yeah.
Beyond, and again, I get the psychology. I understand how you feel.
A continuing mystery around how the new legendary Aman'thul's vision will drop, although it sounds suspiciously like it will be part of the standard loot table for Argus the Unbreaker, and therefore can be given to players in the raid as raid leaders or loot councils see fit, and of course, the tier set question. Because it was recently revealed that tier sets would be removed as a feature from Froth.
That's right, the removal of tier sets from the raid bosses in Battle for Azeroth has been hinted at for months, but has now finally been confirmed, and it's not hard to see why. Tier sets and gameplay bonuses that come with them are one of the most interesting things to collect in the whole of the game, as far as I'm concerned. And if I'm honest, they are probably the main incentive that I have to raid multiple times a week. Apart from, the friendship and the pride in working hard to overcome a challenge and that stuff. That's obviously the main reasons I raid. I mean, after that. It was obvious that changes would have to be made. The experience has been weird in Legion, with tier pieces and legendaries getting locked into so many gear slots early on, that actually looting a new piece of gear that you could use was rarer than anyone would like. And in Battle, Froth, that would look to be a problem still. The 3 Azurite armor pieces that the new Heart of Azeroth impacts are all tier slot items after all. So I think we all knew that this change was coming, and I admit, when I first heard about it, I didn't like it. If I'm honest, I still don't like it. Ian's reasoning that Azurite armor will provide the gameplay depth and customization instead is a good one, and I believe it, as is the fact that there will still be lots of unique gear and upgrades that can only be looted in Raid. I get all that, but I still can't help but feel a certain sadness for a part of raiding that I liked and that means a lot to me, and that at the moment at least, I am sorry to see go. But you know what really helped me? Going to the forums. Because even though I was a little bit down on the whole thing, a couple of minutes exchanging views with the community made me realise that even if I will miss tier sets, we still have a great depth and range of unique raid gear to collect. We'll still have exclusive armor sets to amass, and all of the features of the sets that we think we're losing, we still have, but in a way that just makes more sense in the current, no, it was a shit show. Obviously. RIP raiding, another win for the casual plebs. How to kill World of Warcraft. Just do what the current dev team is doing. A lame source idea meant to make up for some undisclosed corporate inadequacy. This is unbelievably stupid. What would be the point in raiding if Joe Schmo over here can play like 2 hours a week and get gear equivalent to Mythic raiders? Name one single occupation in the world where you put in less effort and get better rewards than someone who puts in many, many times your effort. None. Well, first of all, my commenting friend, obscure members of the royal family, vice presidents, those lifeguards at the Olympics, Martin Shkreli's fan mail handler, and of course, YouTubers say hi. But secondly, can we be clear about this? Whatever losing tier sets is, it is not to make the game more casual. For the simple reason that casuals love tier sets. I have a 950 tier item on my main, which did not come from a mythic raid, put it that way. You can already get this shit from LFR and weekly chests. This is not about the casuals. This is about making changes to a loot system that was becoming cumbersome and unfit for purpose, and even I, someone who loves tier sets, can see that. There are still the strongest loot incentives to raid, and the armor set incentives too, for that matter. Even if Blizzard are also taking a slightly different route on those next expansion, focusing more on what we'll call a raid fantasy aesthetic than a class fantasy aesthetic, which is a fine idea, and one I was initially very excited about before I thought, aren't you just describing the Anchorage sets there, Ian? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're describing AQ40 right there. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more convincing than that, I'm afraid.
WoW is 13 years old. WoW has become a teenager, and that can only mean one thing. Well, okay, a few things. I mean, presumably it'll now insist on being dropped off around the corner before getting in sight of the school gates or party, having mood swings, not washing, and waiting outside the store trying to convince strangers to buy it 2-liter bottles of White Lightning. But it also means the WoW anniversary celebrations. Until the end of the month, there are 6 classic world bosses for you to hunt: the Dragons of Nightmare, Lord Kazzak, and Azuregos, and kill for level 900 loot. And some of this stuff will be of particular interest to transmog collectors because some of these item appearances are totally unique and haven't been in the game for a number of years, like the Amber Seal Keeper, or the strangely glyphed leg plates, or, come on, Typhoon, for all your samurai fantasy needs. These bosses appear to be on a 5-ish minute respawn timer, but remember, you'll have to check which of the Dragons of Nightmare is actually up at any given time. All these bosses also drop Time Warped badges, which this year can be used to buy some old WoWiversary rewards from Lore Masters Lore and Jupa in Stormheim and Orgrimmar. So, if you missed the Murloc costume, or the Van Cleef costume, or, yes, the Corgi pup, then this is your chance to get a hold of them, all by killing dragons, which is always the best way to get anything in WoW if you ask me. Oh, you'll also be able to buy those bronze-tinted sunglasses, but I don't know why you'd expect us to talk about that. Why would anyone be excited about some bronze-tinted sunglasses just because they look amazing on literally any model with any transmog? And they do, because I tried it. And yes, they always look awesome, but really it's no big deal, honestly, so why are you even talking about it? So, do you think you might cause some shit by talking about WoW Classic?
Okay, well, I hope not, okay, because, you know, I feel like people are talking about WoW Classic a lot, and people are still getting really angry about WoW Classic, which is really weird, this idea that it is going to be changed loads, and it's not going to be the WoW experience, and that's cool, I think that's a genuine concern to have. But Ian has said, vanilla is vanilla.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Surely, that should be all controversy, speculation about Classic done now. Surely we should just be talking about when's it going to come out, what patch should it be that just basically gets emulated, and what differences are going to happen to make it fit on widescreen monitors, and will you allow like add-ons which were developed after vanilla to even be used on it and stuff like that? Because I think that's a genuinely interesting question.
That
Because
is an
now you're
interesting
talking
question.
like, how far are we going to go? Are we
Right.
going to like Blizzard? We are Blizzard. We will do everything on our end to make it as like vanilla as possible. Are we going to ban add-ons that weren't usable in vanilla and like hadn't been developed in vanilla?
Oh.
Because that to me is an interesting question. Like that to me is something that I would like to start discussing. Not like, oh, whose fault is it that we might have class balance and stuff like that? Because that is not going to happen. Class balancing is not going to happen.
No, didn't they
Like,
officially say that?
Ian
Someone
has
offici-
pretty much explicitly said,
Yeah.
like, there will be things which are inconvenient about it because that is WoW. Vanilla is vanilla. He just wants, the questions he's asking is like where they will start from, like what patch it will be, and I guess how they're going to progress it. You know, do you start with all of the raids and dungeons open, or do you progress it with patches like it did at the time?
Yeah.
And those are genuine questions, and those are fine. But like shouting people down because you think they're trying to advocate for class balance changes when that's not going to happen is dumb and a waste of time. Now that Ian has said what he said. So
Yeah.
hopefully
We
that
shall
will make the
see.
whole conversation a little bit more civil. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
Because
No-
I'm really
no
keen to talk
shit
about
shows
it.
in sight.
Yeah, totally. Because
None.
I'm
Absolutely
genuinely keen to
zero.
talk about it, and I'm keen to hear what like vanilla players and private server players have to say.
Yeah.
Like totally.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that cash shop that private servers have. I
No.
don't want none of that advanced experience rates.
No. How is it going to relate to normal now WoW? Now WoW. I'll
Yeah.
call it now WoW. Like, how is it going to relate? Is there going to be any overlap? Like, I feel like they're going to be kept pretty separate. I feel like they're going to have to be kept pretty separate.
Yeah, I guess so.
So no, I wouldn't want something that I've kind of gained in Classic to carry over into now WoW.
Yeah. And like obviously you'd still have to use Battle.net, so you'd still have like Battle.net chat and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know all these things that just weren't there before. But
Yeah.
I don't think even the staunchest like keep vanilla pure advocates are saying no Battle.net chat.
No Battle.net chat,
I just don't think they are. So
no.
but it's interesting where different people have the line.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that my line is a lot more strict than a lot of people that have been making private server content for the last like 10 years. You know, on YouTube, people that I really respect and really like, and I'm like much more hardcore than them. Like,
Is it because you never played it?
yeah,
And you want,
because
like, the real
and because I'm not
experience.
playing it now, because that's why I don't play private servers. It's because if something goes wrong on a private server, if there's some really weird thing that happens on a private server, like something bugs out or goes wrong, because I didn't play vanilla, I don't know if that is a vanilla thing or if that's a bad coding thing on the private server side.
Right.
And not knowing that makes me uneasy because I don't know if I'm having the proper vanilla experience or not.
Right.
You know, and I want a genuine vanilla experience. That's why I would play a private server. And since none can offer a true Blizz-like experience, that's why I don't play private servers. That,
fair.
and they're a right pain in the ass to set up.
I think I played one like for very briefly in like high school or something, just because I wanted to like be able to fly around instantly and have like instant experience and like all the gold. Like, you know, you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
a cheat code.
what would happen if exactly?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just WoW on cheat codes. And yeah, it was cool, and I talked to people, and I never really went back.
Yeah,
But you know,
it's cool.
yeah.
And
Totally.
I'm really glad that he went, we're not going to talk about Classic, but we know that vanilla is vanilla. Chill out, don't worry.
Vanilla ain't strawberry,
It's certainly not.
right? Duh.
There might not be a weekly reset next week because we
yeah.
have got some very secret filming to be doing.
Very secret.
We're going to try and put out at least one other video in the week before our secret thing that we're doing.
Yeah, but don't expect anything happening on Friday/Saturday.
Yeah. If we do a weekly reset, it'll be coming out on Thursday. So basically, we've got 3 days, some pretty major news to happen that we need to make a weekly reset about. Otherwise, there might not be a weekly reset. That's what we're saying. But it'll be worth
Well,
it, I promise.
Classic cancelled.
Yeah, totally. And then
That's the big news.
Okay,
I'm
if-
predicting it now.
if WoW Classic gets cancelled, I am unplugging the internet. And I am not going near the internet for at least 10 years. That's it. I'm going to move to a monastery.
it just turns into toxic
Yeah,
sludge
seriously.
instantly.
And then we'll be back on a normal schedule after that. And it'll be worth it, I promise. It will be
yeah.
worth it. If you enjoyed the episode, don't thank us. Thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to help this channel happen. Thank you, guys.
They do.
You're the best there is.
Thanks,
You're the
y'all.
best. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
If you didn't like
Wow.
it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is Ro.
Yeah.
No, my name is
Oh.
Taliesin.
And I'm Evitel.
And from both of us, until next time,
See you
cheerio.
guys.